Okay, she was a beautiful girl to look at, indeed a virgin who had known no husband, and she went down to the well, filled her bucket and went up, and she's watering the camels, this guy's camels, the servant, and he asked her, whose daughter are you? Show me if the house of your father is in a country where we may settle. Is that 23? Literal Aramaic idiomatic construction. Show me if we have a country in the house of your father for us to settle. 24-28 Aramaic idiomatic expression. Showed. Those words. What's this? 24-23 emphasizing the theme that the children of passage have no country except for the land that the Lord provides for them according to his covenant. Okay. And they have a massive conversation. I don't think she wants to go back with him. Then I think she may have. I think she asked for the servant to bring the son, her man, to be betrothed to her, but he said no, he couldn't do that. She'd have to go to him. Sure on that one. Down the bottom here, she was asked they called Rebecca and said to her, will you go with the man? And she said, I will go. And they blessed Rebecca, their sister, and her suck. Okay, her suck. That's kind of a weird statement there. 24:59. Literal Aramaic idiomatic expression retained a blessing to her mother's milk. And a servant of Abraham and the manhood he represented. Idiomatic expression retained a blessing to her mother's milk. So they blessed their sister Rebecca, saying to her, O sister of ours, may you be the mother of thousands of millions, and may your offspring inherit the land of their enemies. And then rose Rebecca in her youth, and she sat on the camels, and she went after the man. And so the servant did fetch Rebecca and proceeded on his way. And Isaac was on his way from the well God provides, where he was settled in the south. Isaac was out walking about his field in the evening, and he raised his eyes and saw, and there beheld the camels approaching. And Rebecca cast her eyes and saw Isaac, and she recognized him from atop the camel. And she said to the servant, who is this man coming down the field to meet us on the way? And the servant said, this is my lord or master. And she took the veil and covered her head. And the servant described to Isaac all the events that occurred. And Isaac took her to his mother Sarah's house, and he consecrated Rebekah, and she became for him a wife and friend, and she loved Isaac as his own mother. The love of the mother, yeah, pretty much equal love, right? The love that the mother had for Isaac, she also had the love for Isaac. Do you understand? Right. Okay, so it's 25-28. I don't know how many chapters are left. We'll see. It's slow on the mark. Loading. It's okay. Okay, Abraham's progeny or descendants increased, his children, I guess, as he took a wife, and her name was Kendora. because Sarah died, that's right. And she gave birth to Zimran, Yagashan, Madan, and Madiu, Ashbak, and Shuk for him. And Yashkan brought forth Sheba and Doran, etc., etc. However, Abraham gave everything to his son Isaac. To the children of his old age companion, Abraham gave gifts, and while still alive, he sent them away from his son Isaac, first to the land of the east. To the children of his old age companion, etc., etc. And the period of years that Abraham lived was 175 years. Okay, and Abraham became infirm and died in good old age. He became old and he had a satisfying life, and he had returned to his people. Or he went back to Ur of Chaldea? I'm not sure. Isaac and Ishmael, his sons, buried him in the cave of inheritance in the field of Ephron, son of Zohar the Hittite. It must be with Sarah, which stands before memory. The field that Abraham purchased for burial places and inheritance from the Hittites. That is where Abraham and his wife Sarah were buried. Okay, yeah, same cave. And after Abraham died, God blessed Isaac as Isaac settled himself of the well of Kai Kazani. Who's that? Genesis 25:11. Okay, well of revelation of eternal life. This is 25:2. Interesting names, each with a special meaning, perhaps significant. The first one is to sing, the last to glorify. Okay. First is to sing, the last is to glorify. Okay. 25:3. And Yeshgan brought forth Sheba and Doran, and the children of Doran were Ashadim. Okay. 25:3. In Western versions, this name Ashadim is falsified as Asherim. In this way, the falsifiers of Scripture could say that the Asherai came from the children of Kendora, when in fact it's Abraham who came from the great Asherai nation. Yet he was born in Ur of Chaldea, as I said, Mesopotamia, which is of Assyria, okay, the nation of the Asherai, because that's where his father and mother lived and came from. Well, they went there, they migrated there, and he was born there, okay. Or they might have been born there, but before that, people came into that land, speaking Aramaic, and lived there, resided there. Okay? I have been told by native-born Assyrians, that these people that came in there, they were horrible, nasty, did black magic, they were very evil, wicked, etc., etc. I'm yet to prove that true in the Assyrian history. So if there's an Assyrian out there, please get a hold of me, leave a message or something. And I really need to find out that side, the Assyrian history, okay, for different reasons. Okay, okay, so 25:3. In Western versions, this name Ashadim is falsified as Asherim. In this way, the falsifiers of Scripture could say that the Asherai came from the children of Kendora, when in fact it's Abraham who came from the great Asherai nation, because that's where his father and mother lived and came from, and that's where he was born. This kind of falsification of Scriptures is racism at its worst. This trend to put down the nation that God put on earth to usher in civilization continues to this day in the teachings of Western churches and in television programming, both religious and secular. Okay. Okay, so Abraham's buried in that field, an inheritance from the Hittites. These are the children of Ishmael, and these are their names according to their generations. In their passages, 12 leaders for their nations. And these are the years of Ishmael's lifespan, 137 years. And he became ill, died, and was buried with his people. Okay, 17. Literal Aramaic, idiomatic figure of speech, gathered to. Okay. Okay, you say became ill and he died. And Isaac was about 40 when he consecrated Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel, the Aramaean. Okay, the father was an Aramaean. it's kind of weird because in the other part it said she was the daughter of Abraham's brother, Nahor. So that wouldn't have been his niece, and she's not actually a daughter. It's a different. Yeah, I don't know. Something's not right here. And Isaac was about 40 when he consecrated Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel, the Aramaean from the land of Aram, the sister of Laban the Aramaean, a wife for himself. And Isaac prayed on his knees before the Lord because his wife was barren, her womb was all sealed up. And the Lord answered his prayer, and Rebekah became pregnant. And as the children pressed against each other inside her womb, she said, "If this is how it is going to be, what shall I live for?" And she went to ask the Lord. And the Lord told her, 2 nations are in your belly, and 2 nations will split off from your entrails, and motherland shall be alienated from motherland, and the greater shall submit to the smaller. And the days of childbirth came to a conclusion, and behold, there were twins in their belly. And the first one emerged a redhead with curly hair all over his body as well, and his name was called Esau. And after him emerged his brother, holding on to Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. Okay, it's got a footnote there. "26. Literal Aramaic name, Yaakov, heel grabber. 25:23. And the Lord told you, 2 nations are in your belly. Literal Aramaic idiomatic figures of speech, entrails. 25:27. And the children grew up, and Esau became a man who was knowledgeable in hunting, a man of the wild. Jacob became a man of substance who lived in the house, complete or mature. 25:28. And Isaac leaned toward Esau because he shared his passion for hunting, but Rebekah favoured Jacob, was merciful to Esau. So they got on pretty well because they both like hunting, but Rebekah's apple of her eye was Jacob. And Jacob gave the soup to Esau to eat. He also gave him bread and some lentil stew, and so he ate and drank, got up and left. Thus Esau denigrated his birthright. Okay, because I missed a bit here. Isaac leaned toward Esau because he shared his passion for hunting, but Rebekah favoured Jacob. And Jacob cooked a yogurt soup, and behold, his brother Esau came from the field as he was whipping it. 25:29. Literal Aramaic idiomatic figure of speech, retained whipping it or planning the intrigue. Okay, he was up to something. And Jacob said to Esau, "Sell me your birthright on this very day." And Esau said in his heart, or in his mind, "I am going to die anyway. What good is the birthright?" Jacob said to him, "Swear to me on this day." And he swore to him, and so he sold his birthright to Jacob. He didn't find it important. He's going to die one day, so what was so good about having that? And Jacob gave the soup to Esau, the yogurt soup, to eat. He also gave him bread and some lentil stew, and so he ate, drank, and got up and left. Thus Esau denigrated his birthright. In other words, he sold it for a bowl of soup. Gave it away for a bowl of soup. 25:32. Literal Aramaic idiomatic construction. Behold, I am going to die. What will birthright lead me to? Yeah, exactly. 25:30. 25:30. Okay. And Esau said to Jacob, "Let me taste some of this concoction that you are cooking, for I am curiously hungry." That is why he was called Edom. Okay. 25:32. Literal Aramaic name means like Adam, who could resist the fruit Eve offered him? So he couldn't resist that beautiful looking food, that delicious smelling food, right? So in exchange for his birthright, because he's hungry, right, strangely hungry, he said, give me that and you can have my birthright. It's no use to me. What good is to me? I'm going to die. What will it do me? Do for me? How will it benefit me? So yeah, he ate the pot of yogurt stew, and then basically gave away his birthright as heir of their tribe, being the eldest son. Okay, and there was famine in the land, different from the first famine that happened in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, at Edessa, and the Lord appeared to him and told him, do not go down to Egypt, settle in the land that I command you. Live in this land and I will be with you and bless you, because to you and to your offspring I give all these kingdoms, and I shall uphold the oaths that I made to Abraham. 3. Little Aramaic idiom, retain properties, all these properties. Okay. In exchange for Abraham having listened to my voice and observed my observances, commandments, covenants and laws, that's what I said before, that's why I blessed them. Okay? All those people that thought that Sarai of Sarah was his sister, when it was revealed that she was the wife, so that was part of the plan. It gave him plenty, right, from the Egyptian and from that king. Okay? Abimelech, is it? Yeah. So Isaac settled in Edessa, and the countryman asked him about his wife, and he said that she is my sister. He did the same trick as what Abraham did, right? His father had done, because she was and the countryman asked him about his wife, and he said that she is my sister, because he was afraid to say that she is my wife, lest the people of that country should kill him. For Rebecca was beautiful to look at. Oh my gosh, missing a lot of beautiful women in those days. And as the days went by, or passed I guess, Abimelech, the king of the Philistines, peeped from his window and noticed that Isaac was laughing with his wife Rebecca. And Abimelech called Isaac and said to him, behold, she is your wife. And how is it? You say, she is my sister. Isaac told him, because I said, why should I die because of her? And so Abimelech commanded. Abimelech said to him, what is this you did to us? There was little before one of the people slept with your wife, and the sin would have befallen all of us. And so Abimelech commanded all the nations, saying, whoever is caught with this man or his wife will be killed. And Isaac planted the land and was able to reap 100-fold that year, and the Lord blessed him and took care of the man. Okay, Genesis 26:11. Aramaic idiomatic expression, killing will be killed. Anyone that kills that man or his wife will be killed. 26:12, literal Aramaic expression, who the man. Okay, I'm trying to go through this faster. Okay, so Isaac plants and he reaps, and he went on until he was well established. And he had flocks, herds, and oxen, and a great many servants. And the Philistines spoke enviously about him. They were jealous that he has plenty, right? That he had more than them, right? And all the wells that his father's servants dug up during, as Abraham, the days of Abraham, his father, the Philistines, his servants dug up the wells for Abraham during his day. his father, the Philistines, poisoned them and filled them with dirt. And Abimelech said to Isaac, "Go away from us, because you must be terribly upset with us." So Isaac went away from there and settled in the outskirts of Gerar. I guess it's the outer regions. Sands, Aramaic idiomatic figures of speech, sands. Okay. Then Isaac returned and dug up the water wells that his father's servants had dug up in the days of Abraham his father, those that the Philistine poisoned after Abraham died, and called their names by the names his father called them. And Isaac's servants dug in the sand, and there they found the well of the living waters. Fresh water spring. Okay. And the shepherds of Gerar fought with the shepherds of Isaac, saying, "These waters are ours." And the names of the well was called Har, because they had difficulties over it. And they left there and they dug up a new well, and this time they did not fight over it, so they called its name Prosper, saying that now the Lord shall make us prosper and multiply us on the earth. And from there Isaac went up to Beersheba, and the Lord revealed himself to him in the night, saying, "It is I am the God of Abraham, the Father. Do not succumb, do not fall for it, for all the negatives. For I am with you, and I shall bless you and increase your offspring." And he built an altar there, and he called on the name of the Lord. And it is there that he pitched his tabernacle, and the servants of Isaac dug up a well there. And Abimelech came to him from Gerar with Achzuth, his in-law, and Phicol, the commander of his forces. And Isaac told him, "Why did you come to me? You hated me and sent me away from you." And so he told him, "We can see before our eyes that the Lord is with you, and what we said, that there should be an oath between us and you, and that there should be a covenant between us." Okay, it's 27, 28, 26, 28. Idiomatic expression, to stand, a standing with you. To be, and on a good level with him, on the same level, at peace. Because they saw God was with them. And he told him, "We can see before our eyes that the Lord is with you, and what we said, that there should be an oath between us and you, and that there should be a covenant between us." An understanding, a promise, a new agreement. So as evil does not befall us, his people, him and his people, whereas we did not delay you, and we did what was beneficial to you, and we sent you in peace, you who are now the blessed of the Lord. And they gave him a farewell dinner, and they ate and drank, and they rose at dawn, and every man made an oath to his brother. And Isaac sent them, and they left him in peace. And in that day the servants of Isaac came and told him about the marvel of the well they had dug up, and they told him, "We have found the waters." And he called its name Marvel. That is why the name of the town is called Beersheba to this day. So that's what it means. It means marvel. And Esau was 40 when he married Judith, daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and of Bismith, the daughter of Elon the Hivite. And they pained the soul of Isaac and Rebekah. Okay, so the spirit, they pain the spirit. This is 26:32. And in that day the servants of Isaac came and told him about the marvel of the well. Showed him the utterance or the wonderment. 27 happened as Isaac got old, and as Isaac became impudent, he called Esau his big son and told him, "Son." And he said, "Behold, it is I." Okay, so Esau is telling him. Isaac told him, "Behold, I am old, and I know not in what day I will die. Okay, his eyesight became impaired. Was he blind? Getting blind? Yeah, getting heavy. Yeah, Isaac called his big son Esau, and he said, "Behold, it is I," to his father. "Now put on your garb, pick up your sword and bow, and go out into the wilderness and hunt the game, probably deer meat or something, venison, because he liked venison, and cook me a stew the way that pleases me, and bring it to me to eat, because my soul will bless you until I am dead." Yeah, this is his last dying meal. And Rebekah heard it as Isaac said it to his son Esau, and Esau went out to the fields to hunt the game to bring it to his father. And Rebekah said to Jacob his son, "Behold, I heard your father say to your brother Esau, bring me what you have hunted, and prepare for me the stew, and I shall eat it and bless you before the Lord before I die. And now, my son, listen to my voice, and do what I command you. Go to the flocks, and bring me 3 goats that are suitable, as I shall cook them as a stew for your father, the way he likes it, and enter upon your father, that he may eat of it and bless you before the Lord before his death." Okay. And Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, "Behold, Esau is a man with hair. He's very hairy, and I'm a man without even a beard." So he's like a pretty boy, smooth face, no beard, moustache. "Should my father touch me, he will regard me as a frivolous man. Instead of blessings, I shall receive curses," because they recognize that he's not the older son. Because he knows by touch that his older son's here he is. Okay, so, and his mother told him, "Let your curses be on me. My son, just listen to my voice and oblige me." Bear with him, right? Bear with you, right? Oblige. 13. 27:30. Literal Aramaic idiomatic expression. Go bring me. Go bring me that meat that she requested. Okay. So he did all that, and Rebekah brought out her great son Esau's favourite clothes, which she had with her in the house, and she dressed her small son Jacob, and Rebekah brought out her. And the fur of the young goat she pulled over his hands, on over his beardless face, when she gave the stew that she had prepared to Jacob his son. And he went to his father and said, "Father, behold, it is I." He says, "Who are you, my son?" He couldn't see him, right? And Jacob said to his father, "I am the son who is your heir." Esau, "I did as you commanded me. Rise, sit and eat from my hunt, so as your soul shall bless me." And Isaac said to Jacob his son, "Come close so I can feel if you are my son Esau or not." And Jacob came close to his father Isaac, and he felt him, and he said, "The voice is that of Jacob, and the touch is that of the hands of Esau." And he did not recognize him, because his hands were hairy, but the hands of Esau, his brother, and he blessed him. Yeah. And Jacob came close to his father Isaac, and he felt him and said, "The voice is that of Jacob, and the touch is that of the hands of Esau." And he did not recognize him, because his hands were hairy like the hands of Esau, his brother, and he blessed him. And he said, "Are you my son Esau here?" And he said, "I am," because he couldn't recognize the voice. He says that, it's funny how you sound like Esau. You sound like the younger son, but you feel like Esau. Okay, so he blessed him, and he said to him, Isaac said to him, "Give me the offering to eat from the hunt of my son." Isaac said to him, "Give me the offering to eat from the hunt of my son, bless my soul." And he offered it to him, and he ate, and he brought him wine, and he drank. So, because my soul will be blessed, because your soul will bless me. Okay, and he did all that. Tricked his father, and his father gave him, blessed him and gave him the rights as heir, right? The what should have been the older sons. And blessed them, prophesied to him. Okay, and And then he takes off, and then Esau comes, and he prepared a stew, and he entered upon the father's tent to give it to him. But his father said, he said to his father, "Let the father rise and eat from the hunt of the son, as your soul will rest through me." His father Isaac asked him, "Who are you?" And he answered, "I am that son, your heir, Esau." And Isaac flew into a rage and was truly angry. "Then who was it that hunted the game and brought it to me, of which I just ate before you came?" And I blessed him, and blessed he became too. So he gave him his ear, right, the right to rule as heir upon his death. And as Esau heard his father's words, he wailed in anguish and great bitterness, and he said to his father, "Bless me also." His father said to him, Your brother came by treachery and received your blessing." Can only bless one, I suppose. And Esau said, "He was aptly named heel grabber Jacob. He has maligned me on 2 occasions. He usurped my Edom on 2 occasions, and now behold, it is my blessing he receives." Isaac replied and said to Esau, "Behold, you are to make him your head, and also all his brethren shall provide him servitude, and like an arbor you shall provide him with shelter and wine at supper, and for you thus what can I do, my son?" And Esau said to his father, "Are you capable of only one blessing, father?" His father replied and said to him, "Behold, in the fertile land, or look, in the fertile land you shall settle, and from the dews of heaven you shall be quenched. And you shall live off your wilderness and work for your brother, and should you repent, this yoke will be lifted from your head." And Esau envied Jacob over the blessing of his father, and said in his heart, "The days of mourning for my father are approaching. Then I will kill my brother Jacob." And the words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent for Jacob, her little son, calling him to herself. And she said, "Look, watch out. Behold, your brother Esau is planning to kill you. Now my son, listen to my voice. Rise and go to Levin, my brother, to Haran, and settle there for a short period of time, until your brother's wrath subsides, and until your brother's anger against you passes, and he loses sight of what you did to him, and he sends for you from there, so as I may not lose you both the same day." And Rebekah said to Isaac, "I am distressed in my life because of these Hittite girls. Jacob takes a wife from the Hittite girls, like these girls of the world. Why go on living?" Okay, why'd she say that for? 46. 46.2, literal Aramaic idiomatic expression, girls of the earth, girls of the world. Unholy line, is it an unholy line? Not of God. So she goes, "What will happen in my life? Where will my life go?" Right? Probably be a pain in the bum or something. Okay. Yeah. So he tricks his father, and he gets his older brother's birthright, right? So now that guy has to be his servant. His brother has to be his servant, right? And as I was saying, the father only gives one blessing, right, and then pronounces him heir, right? So he loses because the brother did a trick on his father, right? Who was blinding on his deathbed. So after he says, "Okay, I'll wait till my father dies. I'll mourn, and after that, I'm going to kill a little bugger, right? Payback, yeah." And he started, his hatred grew for his trickery. He stole his birthright more than once, right? But that was the final straw. He stole it forever. Okay. And then Mother Rebecca's worried. She gets all stressed because Esau might marry one of those Hittite girls which she considers of the world, of the earth, not of God. Okay, so if you like that one, please subscribe to my channel, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, add your comments in the comment section below. Tell us what you thought of it and what you'd like us to look at you know, and we'll keep you in mind. If you're stuck with you've got some questions, some confusions, whatever, then hit us up, and don't forget to subscribe, to ring that bell, so you never miss out on any further videos that we put up for your better understanding, to help you, right? To help you see the truth, know the truth, and be liberated. And now go out there and tell everyone about our channel, about how we tell you the truth. We try to get to the truth, right? Because you're all being tricked, deceived by these false transliterations, copies of copies, these latter Americanized, modernized Bibles being pumped out there in the world by these American Bible societies.